So, do you struggle with depression because of this?
Yeah, I've had anxiety and depression were the first things I was diagnosed
Me
with when
too.
I was 16. So
That's what the
anxiety and
go-to.
depression is what I was first diagnosed with, and then it was manic depression, and then it was I'm missing something,
PTSD?
Anxiety disorder.
and then no, because that was the first one. It was
Oh, right,
anxiety,
right.
depression, and then it was PTSD. No, then it was manic, then it was PTSD, and then it was BPD.
So,
I got it.
do you know what's beneath all the rage?
Sadness.
Grief. That's it. Grief.
So sad.
That's all it is. All that anger, all that lashing out,
Yeah.
all the the attacking and the vicious shit that's being said,
Yeah.
the ruminating, do you self-negate? Thinking negative thoughts about yourself. I don't deserve to be loved.
Yup.
I'm not worthy of love.
Yup.
I'm a piece of shit. I'm
Yup.
mean. I'm nasty.
Yup.
Say you're the devil. You call yourself the devil all the time. It's not really nice to say to yourself.
Sometimes I feel like the devil's in
Yeah.
me.
So you think negative thoughts about yourself.
Yeah.
Right. And no one could ever love me.
I just feel evil sometimes. Like the thoughts that are in my head, I'm like, if I didn't have an issue with blood, I could have probably already killed somebody by now.
Oh, sorry. But when you're thinking these evil thoughts, like you
It's not
said,
nice.
do you sometimes think about these evil thoughts because of your behavior towards a loved one? Because you were so mean and nasty?
Whatever. Yeah, maybe sometimes.
When you hurt someone,
Yeah.
like you went, like, so if someone commits a crime, they said something, a disagreement, an argument, and you should really be going to a 2, but you go to 100. After all that, the episode's over, you've grounded yourself again. Do you hate yourself for the way that you reacted, the way you treated them, and
Yes.
how far you went?
Yes.
So how do you cope with that hate? What do you do, Luma? What do you do with that
Good
hate?
question.
I just hate myself for a little while.
But that hate stays there, though. It doesn't go away.
No,
You might
just,
put it in a closed box.
Yeah, it's like you just
this
stick
is where
it
my
deep.
pain addiction goes
That's where you stick it
because
deep.
it releases the
Let it-
endorphins and then it just makes
Do
me
you
feel
use
better.
alcohol, Fiona, to get rid of that?
Alcohol and I don't get along very well.
But you do drink.
I try not to because when I do drink, that is when I have the worst of my
BPD episodes.
BPD episodes.
So do you smoke weed to cope with the
Yes.
Okay.
Marijuana helps. Marijuana's great. Everyone should smoke marijuana. Great coping mechanism.
So what I was saying about the part about grief when it comes to, the rage.
Yeah.
And what I mean by grief is that it's just sadness.
Yeah.
And it is a loneliness of thinking that no one's going to understand me
Mm-hmm.
and that you
So
are
like that's where me and her are different, where she gets sad and I get angry because it's like her loneliness makes her sad. My loneliness makes me angry.
but underneath that anger is still sadness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
The
When you peel it
sadness-
all the way,
sadness is probably
grief.
the
is
trigger.
the core part,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the unfortunate thing is that based on the person's behavior who has BPD when they're being triggered, they really end up being their own worst enemy
Yes.
because they just keep digging
I
that
say
deeper
it all the
hole.
time. I am my own worst enemy.
Yeah. So if you were to recommend or give advice to someone who's suffering from this, based on the years that you've dealt with it, and sorry, before we get to that, when it comes to your children, how's your relationship with your kids?
It's good.
They
The
know
thing
you
is
have-
that my older kids they understand a bit more because now they get it. And like my 10-year-old, she's got ADHD and ODD. So the ODD is very triggering sometimes.
What is ODD?
Oppositional defiant disorder. So she does everything defiantly.
To go against you?
Yes.
So she always wants to be a rebel in a way.
It's with so ODD is with any type of kid or any type of person that has an issue with authority. It could be a cop, teacher. If they say, hey, can you go do this? Their automatically reaction is going to be like, no, fuck you. But if you said, hey, can you come help me and make and
it's
empower
the way
them?
you word it.
Is the way
Yeah,
you
yeah,
word
yeah.
it. Yeah.
If
So
you
you-
make them think they're doing it on their own, it's great. If you make them think that you're making them do it, it's no chance.
So you have one with ODD and one with OCD.
No, I have one with ODD and ADHD, and I have one with ADHD.
And do you feel that your BPD caused this?
That's a good question. Could be very very true.
Does your partner suffer with anything?
No.
Okay.
But their father, because so the two older ones, it's their father that
It's a
had
narcissist.
yeah, but he also had what do you have? The bipolar
Bipolar.
and
Okay.
what he's got something else too. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe.
So how is your relationship with your kids?
It's good. It's okay. Be better.
It's all right. Is there like you feel that you're very close with them? Are you like very loving and affectionate, or are you a little bit more stern and kind of
No,
cold?
I'm more sternish. Like I'm lovey, but just not like the lovey-dovey. You know, there's like
What's the difference here? I don't understand.
because there's lovey and then there's lovey-dovey. There's like the moms that are like, oh, squishy, squishy. I'm not like that. It's like I'm gonna give my kids the little kick in the ass they need to.
That's not lovey.
No. Well, I don't want my
You're
kids.
tough love.
I
Tough
don't
love.
want my kids to be a bunch of little crybaby.
She talks to her kids like an adult. Like honestly.
No,
I want them to learn that life doesn't just give you lemons, make lemonade.
No,
off
I
of
mean,
it.
I'm not gonna judge your parenting.
No.
Being a parent myself, it's all based on their age. So
Yeah.
when children are younger, they need that
yeah.
lovey-dovey.
So the little ones get that, but
but
when
even
they
older-
get older,
How old are your older ones?
10 and 13.
They still need that at that age.
They do, but they don't like to be affectionate. They don't want cuddles and snuggles and.
well, that's
not how
because
they are.
they're not accustomed to it, right? So
No,
children.
they were, but then as they got older, it's like they once they get to that age, they just don't want to. Like if I hug my kid, though, like sometimes they'll look at me and be like, "What the hell?" It's like I give you hugs every day and I give you a kiss goodnight, but they still are just like, "Don't touch me." They just don't want to be touched.
Yeah. Okay.
They're at that age.
I don't think all kids are like that. I think a lot of kids, based on how they grew up with their parents, the family was very affectionate and loving.
Yeah.
That even when they're 10, 15, 20, they want to hug, they want to kiss. They'll say, I
yeah,
love you
they
all
do.
the time.
Like they
That's
do want
something
hugs
that
and
they
kisses,
want.
but it's not like they want. They just don't want to be hugged and kissed all day. Like they're
Yeah.
like the little ones. I don't know.
Okay.
The little ones would like it. But
So you'd say that you're a little bit more of I wouldn't say hard nosed, but you have thicker skin when it comes to your kids.
yeah.
It's
Okay.
a hard knock life for them. No, sorry.
Okay.
Instead of kisses, they get kicked.
They don't get kicked. What the fuck?
It's part of the song, and it just fits.
Your parents, were they very lovey-dovey with you?
My dad was. My mom was more. My mom wasn't very lovey-dovey.
That could be a reason why you're not.
Might make sense.
Well, it does. I mean, that's
Mommy issues.
you teach, you learn. Sorry,
I don't have
you
daddy
learn.
issues.
You learn communication skills. You learn how to express yourself. You learn how to associate yourself with people through your parents when you're very young, right?
Yeah.
And you get hardwired that way. You don't even realize it. That's why they say the acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. So very often, if a male grew up in a very abusive family where the father was abusive, there's a good chance he might be.
Mhm.
If the mother was very, very cold, or she was a doorman, she was constantly abused by the man, and she has a daughter, there's a good chance the daughter's going to put up with that type of BS as well too, right? And we have to realize that when it comes to our children, they are our future, and we are going to be affecting them. So
Yeah.
if we're not better and of sound mind, it's going to affect them. As is, even if you are, we're affecting our kids because
Oh, yeah.
no one is perfect. Everyone's got baggage.
Yeah.
All of us do, right? It's just really being conscious of your issues and being aware.
Yeah.
Right. There are some exercises that I've read. Like, what one good thing to do with your partner, for example, would be on a good day when you love him, not the way you feel right now. So on the days that you're actually in love with him and you're idolizing him and think he's a great guy, you grab a piece of paper or a scrapbook and you write down a list of all the amazing qualities that he has and regarding you, all the great things. Like, is he a good guy?
Oh, you're asking
Yeah.
me? Oh, yeah. he's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a
So
good guy.
if you're in a positive mindset, you write down all of these great things qualities that he has, right?
Yeah.
He makes me a coffee in the morning. He does this, he does that, whatever it may be, right?
Yeah.
And then when you're having one of your bad days and you're triggered by him,
You think I'm pulling that piece of paper out?
yeah, it's a practice. You got to make yourself do that. That's the whole thing here, that you need to do that to
Yeah.
better yourself.
Yeah, no.
Because
I
otherwise,
do see that where it would be positive in doing that.
no, you need to do, and I'll tell you why you need to do that. You make photocopies of it then, or you laminate it. Okay, and the reason you do that is because if you don't do it, you're going to destroy your relationship, and you have another set of kids without a father.
But sometimes the relationship has already been destroyed.
No, I don't believe that. I don't. When you've got children now.
Yeah,
You've
but
already
just
got
because you have children with somebody does not mean you have to be with somebody.
No, it's not a matter of that. I'm saying you already had kids with the first guy.
Yeah.
And he's no longer there, and the kids have got issues.
Yeah.
You can't just rinse and repeat. You
No.
got to take
Yeah,
responsibility.
but you're not going to stay with somebody to cause more issues.
No, but this partner of yours doesn't have that many issues to make you want to leave because you would have already left him.
No, see, without going into details, because we don't always want to go into details, sometimes there are things that lead up to these situations over the years.
Not to that extent, because again, if that did happen, you would have already left him. So right now,
Not true.
I'm just telling you the path that you're on, in
Right.
my opinion, is you are going to, you will be leaving him.
Well,
You are.
possibly.
No, that's not. You think I'm telling you right now, and Cheyenne's my witness. If we never see each other again, I will speak to. She'll give me an update. If you continue, see, Fiona, the advice I'm giving you here, if you can, like what Luma said before, if you keep seeing that running shoe with a fucking hole in it, and you keep seeing through those lenses, you're gonna discard that running shoe.
Yeah.
And the only way that's gonna change is not because of him changing.
Mhm.
He can continue being a dick in whatever area he's a dick and okay in the other areas.
Yeah.
You have to change your perspective.
Yes.
And that can only happen through hard work. So
Yes.
if you make this list of his great qualities when you're in a good place, when you are raging, you have to force yourself. And if you don't do that, then that means you're not willing to make those sacrifices for your children, your family. Because this is a good thing you're doing. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah. So I see it in that sense of what you're trying to say,
But
that it would help.
but
But
go ahead.
that it would help.
But
Could help. It just sometimes things just don't always work
that's not
the
true.
way.
I don't
Does
believe
that
that.
mean you've already just given up then?
That's what it is.
Well, yeah,
You're
because
already-
sometimes once
There's
people
an
have given up,
No.
once you've already got to a certain point, it doesn't matter what can be done or said or whatever.
That's
like
not
I even
true.
said, no, it is true though, because
It's
even
not.
like I just said, if maybe sometimes you're trying to like work on things, like once a relationship, once you've said things and you've hurt people and it gets to a point where it's hard to try and get back to that old.
That's not true at all. I'll tell
No,
you
it is-
why.
it is
So
true.
do you believe in God?
We've been together for 9 years.
Do you believe in God?
I believe in something. I don't
Okay.
know what I
So-
believe in.
so do you believe-
Let's
so do you-
not
let
do
me ask you
Let's
this.
not get into this.
No. Let's get.
not
Let me
do
ask
it.
you this then.
Yeah.
Do you believe in forgiveness?
Yes.
Do you believe that the most ridiculous rages that you've had on people that you're close to, your parents or your siblings, that some of that should be forgiven?
My rages?
Yeah. Or do you believe they should always hold a grudge against you and say, forget it, this
Well,
thing's.
it's to be honest, that's where it's like if they want to forgive
no,
me,
no,
they
no,
can forgive
no,
me.
no,
but
no,
I
no.
don't think that I should have to be forgiven.
No. You don't understand my. Please understand my question.
Yeah.
Do you believe in forgiveness?
Yes, I believe
or
in
no?
forgiveness.
Okay. So that means that you do believe that there's such thing as redemption. So if someone did
Yeah.
wrong, I'm not talking about someone goes in and does a mass shooting and kills 20 kids.
No.
I'm talking about if someone wronged you,
Yeah.
that or you wronged someone, if that person apologized to you sincerely, are you able to forgive them? I don't believe that you are in all cases.
Yeah.
I don't think
have.
I don't think you can forgive them completely.
But there's always, that's the thing. It's the same way that someone who's normal that doesn't have a problem, like if I say the most mean, hurtful things, they can forgive me, but not forget the things I've said.
Forgetting is we're talking about forgiving. So
Yeah.
would your partner?
I can forgive somebody, but not forget. That's the thing.
That's the problem.
I can forgive, but
But that's
just
not
forget.
forgiving.
Yeah.
Because you will.
Because I can get over it.
No, you won't. How
I'll
can you
just
get over
always
it?
remember in the back of my
But
head
that's
that
not
person
no.
I
But
can't
then
trust.
you'll regurgitate that thought again and
And
ruminate.
then that's what the rupture is.
That's what. So if that
Well, then
person,
that's on them.
no,
Comes back to
that's on
mindfulness.
you.
There's no winning
That's
with
a
her.
them problem.
So the only reason I'm saying this to you because you got 2 young little kids.
Yeah.
All 4 of your kids are very young.
5.
By the way, 5 of your kids are very. The little one is like
Yeah.
Like your little ones, 1 and 3 and 5, that's just super young.
Yeah.
And the 10, 13 are also
He's like
very
18
young.
months, but yeah.
He's 18 months. He can't do shit. Like he's going to go get a job.
No.
He's a boss baby we're talking about here, right? He's
Pretty smart.
18 months. So your children are 1,000% dependent on you
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
and on the outcome of their future
Mhm.
and what support system they're going to have in their future.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying right now is very, very deep.
Yeah.
Your little ones, those 3 little ones, you're with their father.
Yeah.
If in the future you're not with their father,
Mhm.
they're going to be cheated when it comes to their life in regards to the opportunities, the love, the compassion, the sympathy, the empathy. No one is going to love them as a father
Mhm.
like their own father ever will.
Yeah.
No man can replace that.
No.
So they'll always have that huge void in their heart. And that'll be based on a decision that you make, not them. It'll be your decision.
Yeah, but
Your man's not
I
gonna
don't
leave
look
you.
at it like that because that's not in my head. It's not about my kids. Like if I leave, it's because I'm making my kids happier because I'm not letting them watch me and him fight and argue over dumb shit that's not relevant.
But why not figure out a way to stop the fighting over dumb shit instead of just jumping from relationship to relationship and now they'll have a stepdad.
But it's not about a relationship. Sometimes people if I want to leave a relationship, if I'm going to leave this relationship, I'm not going looking for a relationship. That's
You
the
will
last thing I'm
again.
doing. No.
You eventually will.
Because the last thing that I want to do is jump up into another relationship.
Not jump up, but eventually you're going to, Fiona. People
Maybe,
with BPD
yeah.
cannot stay alone.
No, maybe one day, but the last thing that I want to do is look for a relationship anytime soon.
Anytime
Where
soon.
before,
So how long?
That's
How
where I
long?
used to be. Like I would want to jump into a relationship as soon as I'd break up with somebody, be in another relationship. I don't want to be in a relationship.
So even if it's 5 years from now.
I feel like being single for a while would be great for me.
So even if it's 5 years from now, even if it's 5 years, because your previous relationship, you were apart for about 5 years and you had another kid
I
after.
was with my ex for 8 years and I was with him for 9 years.
But in between, how long was the gap?
A year.
So
That's what I mean. Like,
no, so that you're gonna
I jumped right from one relationship
please
to
understand that again. Back to Luma's point.
Yeah.
With BPD, it's repeated
need
behavior.
people.
No, it's
But
repeated behavior.
I've also learned to change the way I think. That's what I'm saying. Since my mom has died, my mindset and the way I think is completely different than the way it was before. I relied on a man. I relied on things that I needed before. I will never look at life the way that
There's
I did before.
nothing wrong in relying on a man, and he can rely on you.
No,
That's
because
beautiful if you can.
Yeah, but I feel like you need to also be able to rely on yourself first. And I never did that before. So now I put myself first and I'm relying on myself before I rely on anybody.
But the thing is that you have children now, so you do have to rely on each other
yeah.
because you have
but-
children together. If you didn't, but you have children. Again, those children are helpless. They can't make that decision.
Yeah.
So
but
you have to rely on the father, and the father has to rely on you.
Mhm.
You have to rely on him on his fatherly duties, and he has to rely on you with your motherly duties.
yeah.
If you decide that I can do this on my own, you can survive. Your
Yeah.
kids will survive too, but they're gonna have super baggage, and you're just repeating history again.
Yeah, but to me, it's like life is too short to be miserable. That's the only way I can look at it.
It's not about it's about realizing that it's not your partner that's causing you the fucking misery.
No, but I
It's
didn't
you.
say it is.
It's you.
Me. It's me, but being in a relationship that I shouldn't be in is causing that misery too.
No,
So
any relationship will cause you that misery.
that's what I mean.
So you need to cure yourself and not destroy the
I need to
relationship.
fix me first.
But don't destroy the relationship because you got 3 innocent kids involved.
yeah, but sometimes the relationship's already destroyed.
No, it's not. If it was, you wouldn't be still living with him. There's still a chance.
There's an app that I think you should try. It really helped me.
You're living with him for more of a selfish reason rather than a.
I'm living with him because I have nowhere to go right now. If I could have had somewhere to go, I would have already been gone. There's the reality.
So it is a selfish reason.
Huh?
It's a selfish reason.
Yeah, because I have nowhere else to go. I've made it clear to him that I am not happy, and if I had anywhere else to go, I would not be here. So
Who gets the kids?
I would.
How are you going to support 5 children?
I'd have to figure it out. There's always a way.
That's another thing about people with BPD.
I'm
Just
not
so you guys-
afraid of like
so you guys
any-
know,
just whimsical.
BPD people have no fear.
No, not at
That's
all.
not true.
That way, where there's always
No,
a way.
I have
Like it's gonna work
absolutely no
out.
That's what she meant
fear.
with no balls.
Yeah,
She
I
has
have-
it's like, I know.
huge balls.
I don't worry about this. There'll always be a way to get through. And whatever. And I don't mean to say this in a mean way, but whatever casualties and stuff that's
don't.
destroyed along the way, it's all right. It's all good.
It's unfortunate.